tonight.
It's good for your battery, to go out there and fire it up.
How to properly maintain your vehicle during the Arctic freeze. Plus,
they are continuing to be a hub for a local community.
libraries are finding new ways to stay relevant in a digital age.
This is Newcap News with Brian Lentz.
Well, with another cold spell hitting the border city, vehicle maintenance becomes especially important. Josh Ryan looked at a few reminders when entering or leaving the car.
When making sure your vehicle will continue to run in extreme temperatures, the most basic step to take is checking to see if it's plugged in overnight.
Makes your vehicle start easier and a lot less wear and tear on your engine and moving parts that you have in the cold there.
However, you should make sure that the vehicle starts from time to time and not rely solely on it charging.
It's good for your battery, to go out there and fire it up. Especially if you've used a remote start.
When hopping into the front seat, it's important to leave time for the engine to warm up, which also prevents you from forgetting to unplug before driving.
Obviously, you're going to rip the cord ends off and or potentially even further down, all the way down to your block heater, which can definitely cause some grief.
Scott recommends not relying on the bottom half of your tank, particularly on the highway, as you consume a lot more fuel when your vehicle is idling in the winter.
And now you're sitting there, and where you think you've got a half a tank of fuel, you're sitting there with a quarter tank of fuel, tow truck's an hour out, no, you're cold.
Any situation where you are stranded will also require an emergency kit.
A blanket, candles, maybe some snack crackers, granola bars, whatever, something to keep you sustained.
And regardless of the location, resist the urge to drive without properly scraping window frost.
You see a lot of people that'll, drive around like in a tank. They just have little bullets in front of their face, just to peek through. Well, it isn't very safe.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, over the past decade, there has been a growing idea that public libraries might soon become extinct. However, libraries are now being used in more ways than the traditional sense. Eric Friesen has more.
Libraries have contributed to education and society for centuries, but the invention of the internet has caused them to find new ways to stay relevant.
Despite the rumors people hear, libraries are not dead. They're growing, they're thriving. They are continuing to be a hub for a local community.
During his 29 years as head librarian, Gillies insists the board has consistently been forward-thinking with the amenities they offer.
We've thought about a sound mixing facility or space. We've also looked into the idea of a video manipulation space where people could bring their home movies and things like that in.
Gillies says the library is working on a new marketing and outreach strategy to show the public they have more to offer than just traditional paper books.
We've probably got about 3 times as many online items available to library users as we do physical items. Come and take a peek, find out what we can do for you that's new and different and that isn't just the traditional book on a shelf.
Eric Friesen, Newcap News.
Well, today's frigid temperatures are just another reminder that once winter sets in, it can be difficult for summer athletes to stay in shape. But as we see in this week's Beyond the Classroom, the Lloydminster Catholic School Division has a program designed to keep students hitting their marks all year long.
It's a sport most students have to go without for most of the school year. But the new Synergy Vault means these Holy Rosary athletes get to play their favorite sport no matter the weather.
It's awesome. I get to do baseball all year round. It's nice to do something rather than just hockey all the time.
It's super exciting because not a lot of kids get this opportunity in other schools, and to have a facility like this and just getting the extra reps in all year long is actually excellent.
This ball program is a 4-credit class that allows those interested in the sport to not only stay in shape, but also learn about future opportunities.
We get to really specialize and do training for kids that want to take baseball to a higher level, try to hit on every aspect of the game, look at careers in baseball, development physically, skill-wise, in every aspect of the game.
But the program has benefits for the close to 50 students enrolled beyond the physical.
Sometimes baseball isn't always important for everyone. It's not their biggest thing, but it's a clearing for their mind, you know, something where they can take their mind off school and something where they can stay athletic.
The response has been amazing, and I think just kids being able to come and just enjoy, especially an amazing facility like the Synergy Vault, where they get to come in and have a great time. Attaching that with school is just making school as a whole more enjoyable for them, something to really look forward to in the day, and really brings energy to the whole curriculum.
And by partnering with community members to provide top-of-the-line equipment, Holy Rosary ensures that energy will carry forward for years.
If this is something of their passions, they can really follow this as far as they want to, and as much work they want to put in, they'll get the benefits of all the amazing facilities and resources we have for them.
This is Newcap Sports.
ACAC court teams began the second half of the volleyball season this past weekend, including both Lakeland Rustler squads. Before the Christmas break, the men and women volleyball teams were trending in very different directions, with one team on the cusp of history. Lance Phillips has more.
Since the CCAA's first national women's volleyball ranking in October, one team has owned the top spot, and Saturday provided another example of why. The Rustlers' 3-1 win over Concordia earned them their 14th straight, the first of any Lakeland College volleyball team to be undefeated after 14 games. But it wasn't easy, despite the match's dominant look.
Mental focus wasn't quite there this weekend yet. It'll come. Of course, girls just are getting back from San Diego, and everybody's kind of picked up a after Christmas flu.
We just had to do whatever we could to get through this weekend and get 2 wins. We're not going to worry about the product on the floor. We just had to limit our mistakes and get the 2 wins. And coming after this weekend, we'll get into our second semester, and then we can look to really look at our competition schedule that we are training for excellence coming up here.
The reigning national champions have looked the part ever since the conference championship a year ago. Now, the only question is it another team or themselves that could derail another national championship bid?
For the most part, because of how old we are, I would think that we would probably be our own worst enemy, and especially not having lost yet. I want to make sure that we're not chasing an undefeated season where we're just playing not to lose versus always trying to play to win.
The men's side struggled to their 7th straight loss, 3-1 against the Thunder. The match, like many others, exposed one glaring deficiency in their game.
It's a little bit of consistency for sure. We were terrible in the first 2 sets, and then good in the third, and we're okay in the fourth. But a couple mental lapses, and that's all it takes, right?
We know we can win. We know we have the capacity, but when we were struggling, we just go down, and like we were like a roller coaster, and we can win like that. We have to have the same mentality the entire game.
The team is still mired in last place of the ACAC North, but not all is lost. A few wins in upcoming weeks could move Lakeland into playoff position, and given its young roster, Dyer sees the potential his team has.
First contact, that's a huge starting point for us, because if you can pass and play defense, you're going to be in every match. So that's kind of what we've been able to do. And once some of these young guys understand kind of the scenarios and when to put the ball in play or when to put it away, better things are going to happen for us.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.